get it up above the hands and get him to bite.
Game series. The old record had been held by Jim Frag, Rod Carew, and Darren Erstad.
Wow.
Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball.
Pretty good names on that list.
Absolutely. I saw the great Rod Carew many times. Did you ever play against Rod? He would have been gone by the time you.
We became really good friends while I was playing in Minnesota, and he was special assistant to Terry Ryan, and so Rod was around a lot. What a great guy and a great person to talk to about hitting.
He was a joy to watch. Here comes the 1-2 now to Trout. It's high for a ball. Rod Carew was almost like a magician with a magic wand. Yeah. The bat was the wand, and he would just kind of, do whatever he wanted to do and hit it wherever he wanted, which is a very rare quality. It's hard enough just to make contact.
Yeah, right. He was unbelievable. And one of the best bunters the game has ever seen.
2-2 pitch outside to Trout. This is your basic power against power matchup. Trout, a guy with over 400 career home runs. Staying healthy has been his big difficulty recently. The 3-2 pitch hit in the air, right field line, down the line, racing over Conforto, and slides and cannot make the catch. It's a foul ball. Conforto angling over toward the sidewall, slid. You could tell Ronnie was conscious of that brick wall just beyond the foul line. Who wouldn't be? And he was unable to make the play.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you start running towards the wall, and in is where the ball was carrying him. And then you almost have to try to go parallel to the wall to try to make the catch. And he slid just short of the wall, and the ball hit the tip of his glove.
It was a good effort.
Yeah, very good.
3-2 on Trout, just underway. No score at Wrigley. And the payoff by Cabrera. Swing and a miss. Trout is gone. Good breaking ball. Getting back to Trout and the fact that he just can't stay on the field. In the previous 6 years prior to this year, Ron, he had appeared in 100 games only twice in those 6 years.
Boy, and when your star player is not on the field, that makes it really tough to win.
And twice he appeared in fewer than 50 games. So they've missed him. They've just missed his presence in the lineup and in the field.
First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Nolan Shonowell, the batter, takes low and inside, 1-1. Cabrera trying to work a 1-2-3 first inning in his Cubs debut. He comes back to the plate. It's low and inside. Cabrera has a simplified motion. He never does extend the arms above the head, keeps the ball and the glove right around the belt buckle as he rocks back and then just brings it. He's a big, strong right-hander. Acquired by the Cubs in a January trade with Miami. There's a slice foul down the left field line, 2-2.
Yeah, tremendous arm. His fastball will be right at 100 miles an hour. He's thrown a changeup already today at 95 miles an hour. And, it's more like a BP fastball type pitch than you would say a change, even though he calls it a changeup. But he has a tremendous arm, good slider, good breaking ball, changeup, and a 100-mile-an-hour heater.
And the 2-2 on the way. Low and inside. Cabrera with quite a bit of big league experience. 87 career starts, all with Miami. He's one game below 500 in the win-loss category, 28 up and 29 down. And his ERA just a shade over 4. But this is a different world now, pitching at Wrigley instead of Miami. The pitch, fly ball, right field, playable for Conforto. He's got it. Welcome to the Cubs, Edward Cabrera, 1-2-3 in his first inning. After a half, no score.
Boomer is the dog. But he looked good. I just followed his pitch all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
A little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
kept the Diamondbacks on the board. Suarez, fly ball, and it's gone. Suarez hits another fly ball, gone.
Oh, my.
Suarez, fly ball, there's 4. There have been 19 four-homer games in Major League history.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Michael Busch gets a base hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $200 to area service dog charities. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The first pitch to Michael Busch misses for ball 1. Ryan Johnson making his first major league start. And in these conditions, in front of a big crowd at Wrigley, it's a challenge for a guy in this spot, Ron.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, you get to the big leagues. He pitched a little bit last year out of the bullpen.
Busch takes outside, ball 3.
And then you hear you're going to Wrigley Field, you're getting a start, and then you show up here and you go, oh, but the flags are blowing out at 20 miles an hour to straightaway center.
Let's see if Busch has the green light. He's taking ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. Let's see if that leads to a rally. Game time temperature 76. Just a lovely night for a game. Sponsored by 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Here's Alex Bregman. 32 years old today. Thought he looked a little taller. Here is a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Just a little, you know, it's kind of a subtle difference. Now the stretch by the tall, slender right-hander Johnson. And the pitch inside off the glove of Happ. It's 2-0, and Johnson having a hard time finding the strike zone.
Yeah, I think it goes right back to being the first start in his big league career. You know, the nerves and everything. He's trying to. Got the dry mouth going, everything. You know that right now.
Busch takes high, or rather, Bregman takes high. Busch, the runner at first. It is 3-0.
He went with his bread and butter pitch there on 2-0, the cutter, and even that one, he was underneath it and shot it up high.
Bregman takes a strike. Alex had a couple of home runs yesterday. One just to the left of dead center, the other one to the opposite alley in right center. Let's see if he gets something to hit on. 3-1. And the pitch by Johnson. That's strike 2 called just on the outside edge.
Yeah, that's that cutter we're talking. He likes his cutter. That's his number 1 pitch that he likes to throw. About 90 miles an hour. Works fast, though, I'll tell you that.
Busch leading at first, not running. The pitch popped up on the infield, shallow center. Backpedaling and calling the shortstop. Neto makes the catch. With that wind blowing out, I'm not sure many pop flies or fly balls could be categorized as routine at this point.
I would say they're not routine, and the advantage the Cubs have over the Angels, Cubs outfielders know that when the wind's blowing out like this as an outfielder, when you're coming in, you got to be aggressive. Trout kind of let Neto kind of just go out and get that ball. That's got to be Trout's ball. The wind blowing out, it's going to blow the ball 20, 30 feet farther out into the outfield.
Swing and a miss by Ian Happ. Well, here on Cubs Radio, we would like to congratulate Charlie Dreyer. Charlie, the regional vice president of the Peoria Regional Office for Auto Owners Insurance. He's retiring tomorrow after 36 years of service.
Congratulations.
Way to go, Charlie. Here's a pitch taken outside. He's a huge Cubs fan, a Cubs radio fan. In the car a lot day and night listening to The Score and Cubs radio, and I hope you continue to do that in your retirement, Charlie Dreyer. But we tip our cap to you and thank you. There is a strike to Ian Happ.
Once again, a little backdoor cutter to Ian, ended up in the middle of the plate, 91 miles an hour. Speed gun, powered by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
No score first inning, one away and a man at first. Ian Happ takes up and in, ball 2, 2-2. This guy's got a good arm.
A lot of movement. He likes to cut the ball. He throws the cutter, then a sweeping breaking ball, a slider. A lot of pitches going into the left-handed hitter or away from the right-handed hitter will be today's repertoire for Johnson.
2-2 pitch toss to first, not in time. Well, the score, of course, is the flagship station of the Chicago Cubs, 670 AM, 104.3 FM. And the score well represented here tonight. Matt Spiegel and Lawrence Holm tossed out first pitches. And the pitch to Happ, wild pitch, bouncing all the way back to the screen. It almost hit Happ in the foot, and it skipped on by O'Hoppe. That's a wild pitch.
Yeah, that's once again, that's a cutter, and he just pulls this ball. O'Hoppe, you know, for the catchers, they're all down on one knee, and they just don't move that well. You know, his right knee's on the ground. He had to reach to his right side. You just can't move, and he couldn't get to that ball.
Happ on 3-2 takes down low for ball 4. Johnson has walked 2 of the first 3 men. I think in the dugout, Ron, even in amateur ball, when you see a guy a little bit wild, you think we really should score a run in this first inning, at least one.
Yeah, you're hoping somebody makes a mistake and throws the ball in the middle of the plate and somebody does some damage. You know, and the Cubs have back-to-back lefties at the plate with Happ and now Pete Crow Armstrong. Lefties with that cutter, slider, sweeper all coming into him. You know, it should be good matchups for Happ and Pete.
Pete Crow Armstrong looking for his first long ball. Boy, those flags, stiff, blowing straight out towards center, must look very inviting to anybody with power. Because you know you don't have to hit it that hard for it to leave the yard. Just make good contact.
Yep, absolutely.
Now the right-hander ready, 2 men on, no score. 1 away, bottom of the first. First pitch misses. Sometimes when a guy is wild, as Johnson has been, and then he gets close to the strike zone, an umpire will say, if you're going to keep missing, you got to throw strikes.
Yep.
Here's a swing and a miss. I think they almost do it subconsciously. I umpired for a while. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're not going to go out of your way to give a guy a break who's been bouncing pitches and throwing them 8 feet up high and out of the zone.
Well, the umpires get into a rhythm, too. And when you're all over the place, they get in no rhythm.
Tapper foul at the plate, 1-2.
You know, you don't see the ball as well. The ball, one pitch is down and away. The next pitch way up and in. Next pitch bounces. You know, you're not seeing the ball all that well. And the home plate umpire needs to find that rhythm and see the ball well.
Crow Armstrong trying to get the Cubs on the board. 2 men on, 1 away. The pitch, PCA takes high, a check swing foul. And he stays alive, 1-2. On the other hand, thinking about an umpire, if a guy has great control, Ron, he might get an extra pitch or 2 or 3 over the course of the game because the umpire says, well, he's always around the zone. I might be inclined to give him an extra couple.
No, I would agree. I think that's exactly how it works. Playing Pete straight away in center field, playing him the pull and right. Adele is way around on the pull side.
The 1-2 is outside, 2-2. Johnson struggling, Ron.
Yeah, no, he is. He's struggling with his release point. He's been missing in all directions, actually.
21 pitches already after a third of an inning. A dribbler foul at the plate off the foot of PCA. He's okay. Did you foul a lot of pitches off your feet?
No, I did not. I did some, but not. The guys that really hook the ball a lot do that a lot. I was not that guy. No. Defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling, handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 away, no score, bottom of the first. The 2-2, way outside, 3-2.
Well, that pitch wasn't even close. Split finger, right? Released it way off that ball in the right-handed batter's box.
He might get something to hammer right about now. You know he doesn't want to walk 3 men.
No.
Among the first 4 batters.
The pitch that he throws the most is the cutter. I would think he's going to go to the cutter here. You got to go to your number 1 pitch. I would guess that would be the cutter. Pete should get something coming in towards him instead of going away.
Big crowd at Wrigley ready to cut loose. Runners lead first and second. And the 3-2. Swinging a smash foul past first. Jose Javier, first base coach, showed a nice little dance number avoiding being hit. That's a cool move Jose made.
Yeah.
And the payoff pitch. Chop foul slowly toward first again. Quite a battle.
Yeah.
Let's pause 10 right here for station ID. This is The Score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. The 26th pitch of the inning from Johnson. Swinging a foul off to the left out of play. You kind of get the feeling Pete is seeing the ball pretty well here, Ron.
Yeah, he's starting to, well, he's seen a lot of pitches already in this at-bat. The Feel Like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feels like a Bosch. Pete could do some boshing right here. He'd give a souvenir to the fans in right center.
Looking for his first homer. Takes outside, ball 4. That is a quality plate appearance. He didn't chase anything bad. He fouled off some tough pitches. He gets the walk. And now the pitcher is really in a jam. Ryan Johnson has walked 3 of the first 4 Cubs he has faced. Bags are loaded for Nico Hoerner.
Mike Maddox, long-time pitcher and pitching coach, coming out there and with a little smirk on his face, trying to lighten things up on the mound for his young right-hander. And instantly Johnson started laughing. So Mike did exactly what he was trying to do and just alleviate a little stress, pressure, and get the kid throwing the ball back towards home plate and getting some strikes.
Wonder how many times after all these years that Mike Maddox has used the phrase, trust your stuff.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yep. That's a common one.
Here is Nico Hoerner. And the pitch on the way. Nico takes a strike, 0-1. The outfield Lowe, Trout, and Adele. They play pretty much straight away against the spray-hitting Nico Hoerner. Nico drove in 1 run over the weekend in the series against Washington. He's got a chance for a bundle right now. Bags loaded. Swinging a drive. Left field. Going back is Lowe with room. It's going to be a sac fly. Tagging and scoring is Michael Busch. The other runners hold. Cubs lead 1-0. Nico Hoerner driving one almost to the warning track in straightaway left. And the Cubs lead 1-0.
Out for Nico, he takes the first pitch. It's a fastball or probably that cutter in the zone. And then he wasn't waiting around too much longer. He gets this pitch and just hits it off the end of the bat enough to keep it in the ballpark. If he squares this ball up, it's long gone. But he drives into Cubs' first run with a sac fly.
2 outs in the inning. Men at first and second. Carson Kelly the batter. And Carson takes outside. Cubs wearing their home white uniforms, the blue pinstripes all over, white shirts and trousers, blue hats and helmets. Sleeves and socks are all blue. Angels in their traveling unis, swinging a pop fly, shallow right. Peraza out. Might be a tough play, and it falls in there for a base hit. Cubs are going to score 2 runs on the play. Cubs got a break. There is a windy play at Wrigley Field. Peraza, actually that was, Peraza, the second baseman, going out and calling. At the last second, he realized he could not make the play. Trout racing in from center, tried to make a frantic catch, and he couldn't grab it. As the two men almost collided, Cubs get a major break and lead 3-0.
Yeah, this is one of those plays just like the one before that we were talking about. The center fielder has to take control of this ball. The wind blowing out and blowing that ball out to center.
Pop fly by Ballesteros down the left field line. Coming in, the left fielder low to make the catch to end the inning. But all
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs, and then next day, I got to eat arepas with eggs. So my mom make it for me, and then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
Deep center. Edmonds going back. The ball is going long. 3-run home run. Bowman shot. The Jays on the board first. In one swing, Bobichet makes it 3-0 and chases Shohei Ohtani from Game 7. Breaking ball, and he was all over.
Beer, and more beer. Hey, it's like Jenga.
Broken bat for Freeland. The ball to second. Corner boots it. Everybody's safe. Whatever superstition you have, you're employing it right now.
Not sure why that was Dodgers.
It's relentless. The ice, the snow, the summer humidity. Your home's exterior can take a beating. What if your siding was made to stand strong through it all? Hardy Fiber Cement Siding is engineered for our climate. It resists cracking in the freezing cold and won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com. When it comes to tuxedos and suits, the pros at Suits 2020 have the winning looks. Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at suits2020.com.
Top 2 at Wrigley Field. Cubs 3, Angels nothing. The second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are. Happ?
Jorge Soler, former Cub, leads it off for the Angels here in the second inning. Angels in their traveling unis, gray trousers, bright red shirts. Soler takes outside for a ball. Uniform descriptions we give you every day and night, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. This is a plus for Cabrera now, Ron, to have a 3-run lead to work with in his Cubs debut. There's a strike. That'll possibly settle him down a little bit.
I absolutely agree. It's you take them out for inning number 2 with a 3-run lead. That'll help.
Swing and a miss by Soler. Soler, big, tall, strong, right-handed batter, always has had as much power as just about anybody in the game. Wide open stance. And the 3-2. Strike 3 caught. Soler caught looking. Cabrera gets the strikeout. And with one away here in the second inning, it brings up Yoan Moncada. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Soler thought that ball was going to be down. It was a changeup, but it stayed right at the knees.
Moncada takes outside for a ball. Opening night game here at Wrigley, and we have just received some caps that say opening night, Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs.
Replicas of the first night game.
It is
here
very
at Wrigley
nice.
Field.
What do we owe? We probably have to pay for these, right?
Yeah, you slap a 20 on me, and then I'll take care of it from there.
Are you sure it'll get to where it's supposed to go?
Well, to me. Then it doesn't need to go anywhere else. It's
one of those
spot.
deals.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with those deals.
I understand.
One away, nobody on. Second inning, but these are kind of snazzy looking hats. Bright white on top with blue bills. This is a keeper.
Moncada takes a walk. He got that last pitch down and in. Took it for ball 4.
One away and a man at first. Joe Adell, the batter. Cubs on top 3-0 in the second inning. From the stretch, Cabrera's delivery hit in the air to right. Pretty well hit, but it is playable for Conforto. 2 steps off the warning track and straight away right. He's got it, and that's out number 2.
Right now it's very tough sky. We're at that dusk time, and it's just the ball goes up, and once it gets above the lights, it's very tough to see. That was a tough one to track until it came back down into the stadium. But Conforto made the play easily.
Nice to have the executive producer of Cubs Radio, Mitch Rosen, is in our booth. Mentioned that Matt Spiegel and Lawrence Holmes threw out first pitches. There's a toss foul out of play. And also later on, Matt and Lawrence, Tanny and Alex are going to sing the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, the whole their team, their whole crew, going to sing the 7th inning stretch. They threw out the first pitch today. One guy just about got it there. The other guy did.
We'll be back out here again tomorrow night, same time as this evening, 6:40 Central Time. A day game on Wednesday. Cubs will have Thursday off and open up in Cleveland against the Guardians. That's the Guardians' home opener on Friday late afternoon. I think it's a 4 o'clock start, if
correct.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep. 4 o'clock Eastern, right? I believe.
In on the grass at third is Bregman, and now the pitch to Lowe, hit in the air, deep center, but it is playable for a backpedaling.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's.
No runs for.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte, in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
A home run for Judge. His first hit of the year. It's a 2-run shot. Home run to Carlos Stanton, and the Yankees have a 3-0 lead.
Here comes a throw from right on the money. Did they get him? Yes!
Dwight charges, diving catch.
What a way to get it going for Kevin Gausman. He strikes out the side.
Oh, great job by Matt Olson, Gold Glove winner over there with a diving stop. Austin Riley playing over the shortstop position.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Neto to his left. What a play!
Acuna with a shoestring grab.
He has been the Athletics offense tonight. Andres Gimenez walks it off.
He's already hit his 3rd of the young season.
Diving stop. Cole Young, a bounce throw. Retires Ramirez.
Oh, he leaps and Merrill makes the catch. Mookie Betts with a laser to right center field.
Catch your next Cubs game from the Yeti Yard. Starting at just 4 tickets, your group will enjoy reserved seating, snacks, a ballpark meal, and a private Yeti beverage cooler stocked for the game. Learn more at Cubs.com/premier. Pat?
Zach, the Cubs received 3 base on balls in the first, and that turned out to be very important because all 3 men scored runs, and the Cubs are on top 3-0 here in the second. Dansby Swanson first up here in inning number 2. Takes down low for a ball. Speaking of walks to Cubs batters, they're sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over.
First 2 pitches from Johnson, really not close. Both way down and away.
Swinging a foul back by Dansby. The men in blue, the umpires, Charlie Ramos calling balls and strikes tonight. Chris Guccione working at first. David Rackley is the second base umpire. Nestor Saya working at third. Fly ball to left. Dancing underneath it and now pulling it down is Lowe. Lowe dropped the ball when he transferred the ball from glove to bare hand, but it is ruled that he did have the ball long enough. Dansby's not sure. Dansby is still standing on second base. I thought he had it. Let's take another look.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got it.
He's out. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be an out. The crowd responding. But I think they made the right call. That should be an out.
Yep.
I think when you watch something in slow motion, it seems like he didn't have it that long, but he actually did. Michael Conforto in the lineup tonight takes a strike, 0-1. There's a swing and a foul back and out of play. The announcement of the umpires, by the way, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. We're going to be playing the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game here soon. And now the 0-2 pitch on the way to Conforto. Check swing. He went too far. That's strike 3. Conforto is out on strikes. First strikeout for Ryan Johnson. Cubs leading 3-0, second inning, and the batter is Michael Busch.
Now Busch, one of the guys in that first inning that ended up walking and then came all the way around to score. So he's one of the 3 runs scored in the first.
There's a smash back to the mound glove beautifully by Johnson. That ball down around his ankles. He made a
1-0. Crack to deep center field. Varsho going back as far as he can go. And Langoliers has a grand slam. 6-2 A's. Shea's 3rd home run of the series is a grand slam. And they have blown this game wide open.
And in grand fashion.
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. 5-0 New York. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Chapman. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. He is so much fun to watch. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed.
Injury law firm for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Who's on first? Southwest Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Top 3, Cubs 3, Angels nothing. 73 degrees at the moment. Wind blowing straight out. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Pat?
Bouncing ball is short off the bat of Ohapia. Charging Swanson makes a running pick and throw to first to get him. Dansby very calm, doesn't bother to set his feet on a play like that. He just charges, grabs it, stays in rhythm, and makes a running throw to first. It looks easy the way he does it. It takes a lot of practice to make that look easy.
Yeah, it does. And Dansby, the thing he's great at in feeling that ball coming in is picking out his hop that he wants to catch the ball on. Peraza swings through that first breaking ball for a strike. But he ends up getting his timing to where he's getting it on a good hop to catch, transfer, and throw on that next step as you're talking about.
Breaking ball strike, 1-1 on Oswald Peraza. Peraza had a homer over the weekend in Houston. Here's a bouncing ball to third, one hop to a charging Bregman. He'll make a running throw to first in time, and that's out number 2. This Angel team had 9 home runs in the 4-game series, and after the first weekend, they actually have the most home runs of any team in big league ball. 9. That's a big series.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and with the wind blowing out today, it's supposed to be warm again tomorrow, so I would guess it'll probably be blowing out tomorrow until, the storms roll in and flags turn around.
Zach Neto takes a strike, tried to check his swing, couldn't do it. In the attendance game, the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game, I'll make the first guess. Here's the bouncer to first, fielded by Bush, underhand feed to Cabrera. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Cabrera. We'll get the attendance picks in a moment after 2.5. Moving along, Cubs 3, Angels nothing on the score.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Shattered bat, and it catches Tommy Lasorda. He pops right back up, and he's all right.
Tommy's saying, I'm all right. Of course I'm all right.
His score, you throw out the lowest and the highest, he gets a 9-8 for this.
Why do I keep thinking Humpty Dumpty here? Had a great fall.
Look at this. They're going to bring him, a jacket?
No, it's a chest protector.
A chest protector.
They flip with the glove. That was not a good idea.
All he needed to do was try to get the lead guy by giving him a nice easy feed.
Oh, no, stay on your feet. No. I thought he was going to stay on his feet.
Uh-oh. The Goose did not know that the game was starting. Maybe the Goose thought it was 6:45 first pitch time.
Oh, man, off the glove and off the dome. He's saying, oh, man, what happened? It's a moment that he'll never.
Alex Bregman's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Happ?
Cubs trying to even up their record at 2-2 on the young season. 2 more games in this series tomorrow night, and then Wednesday afternoon. Now the 0-1 outside to Bregman. Bregman popped out his first time. Now the 1-1. Now the 1-1 by the right-hander. Drilled in the air toward left. Lowe is right there to make the catch. Kind of a hurry-up pitching style on that one pitch from Ryan Johnson. It was faster than his normal motion.
He has that when, we've seen him out of the stretch basically the whole time he's been in there. But his wind-up delivery is kind of odd. It almost reminds me a little bit of someone you'll know from years ago, Jim Cott. Remember Kitty? He kind of that step back and just go, and that's what he does with the wind-up delivery.
Fly ball deep left field off the bat of Happ. This ball's got a chance. Gone. Ian Happ goes to the opposite field. His third of the year. Cubs lead 4-0.
Ian with 2 left-handed home runs this year out of the 3 to left field, opposite field shots. Big swing of the bat for Ian. He got this pitch away and just went with it. And when that wind's blowing out, you really don't need to pull the ball. Just stay through it, and he does, and lands this one about halfway up the bleachers and left.
Ian has more experience than any of his teammates playing games here at Wrigley. And he does like to go opposite field here.
Yep.
He just gets those pitches that he can drive the other way. He elevates them, and they sail. Chopper foul by Pete Crow Armstrong. Happ already with 3 home runs and now 5 RBIs. This is only game number 4 on the year. Cubs lead 4-0. Crow Armstrong pulls it foul sharply past first.
This third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union. People in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go.
Happ ties his career with home runs in consecutive games with 3. Here's a ball down low. We're going to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. I'll go ahead and start and say 35,953. 39593. Swinging a foul, broken bat. Foul down the right field line. That bat shattered in 2. Everyone's okay.
That bat split right down the middle from the barrel down, and Pete had what looked like an oar in his hand after that.
That's dangerous. So that jagged piece of wood flying in midair. Nobody got hurt. 2-2 on Pete. 1 away, base is empty. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
Got a good pitch to hit there. Another cutter just underneath.
I'll guess 35,953. Any thoughts, Ron? Or Zach,
I will say 36,500.
The 2-2. Ground ball toward the middle. Off the glove of a backhand diving try by Peraza. Pete Armstrong with a single. He takes a big turn at first. It's a base set for Pete. That's another thing. When you're a fielder and a guy with the speed of Pete Armstrong hitting a ball, it puts that extra pressure on you to make the play perfectly cleanly, because if you don't, you have no chance to get him.
Yeah, Peraza, as he's diving for this ball, is already trying to position his body to know that he's got to bounce up, to your point, Pat. And when you do that, you lose focus on the actual catch of the ball, and he kind of just shot the ball away from him with the glove instead of giving with the ball. He pushed at it because of that and ended up being a base hit.
Let's see if Pete is running. Cubs lead by 4. Nico Horner, the batter. Nico drove in the first run with a sac fly to left. That's his second run batted in on the young season. Toss to first. PCA dives back to the bag.
And Pete's the cleanup hitter for the Cubs, sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star Frigidaire kitchen today at grandappliance.com.
Pete's got a big lead and a toss to first. Not in time. Close play. He almost got caught. He was dancing off the bag, taking his lead, and almost got nailed.
Chris Guccione was dancing too, the first base umpire. He slid right in there. I mean, he hopped right in at the play. Good job by him moving his feet and being right on the play. Pete was safe.
Swing and a miss by Nico. I think that's known as the umpire's cha-cha.
Oh. Now, did you have the umpire's cha-cha when you were umpiring games years ago?
When I was in the mood to have it,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Pete's got a big lead, dancing off the bag at first, not running. Here's a liner foul down the left field line.
Is there video of said Pat Cha-Cha?
None, but thanks for asking.
Oh, there you go.
I've always been more radio inclined than video. Swinging a looper down the right field line. Might drop in there for a base hit. Does. Bounces over the sidewall for a ground rule double. A drive to the opposite field and right, just fair. It bounced up and over the sidewall into the stands. It's a two-base hit for Nico. Runners at second and third with one away. The Cubs already lead by 4, have a chance to take a comfortable lead now if they can get these two guys in.
Nico, this guy's tailor-made for Nico with that slider and everything, cutter going away from him. He pulled the first at-bat and hit a sac fly to left. Now this time, pitch is going away from him, even though that was probably inner half. He just inside outs his ball and dumps it down the line for a double.
Infield in, Kelly the batter. Carson takes outside. What's the thinking now as a batter with that infield in this spot, Ron?
If I were Kelly, I would be looking for that ball breaking away from me, let it carry a little bit, and try to pound this ball to right center field.
The 1-0. There's a line drive to second base, and the throw to third is going to be not in time. Somehow, Pete Crow Armstrong gets back safely to third. Moncada took the throw. He was off the bag and had to make the tag. I thought Moncada for sure would have a foot on the bag as he received the throw, but apparently he did not, Ron.
That's the only way he is safe is Moncada didn't go back, and, you can act like a first baseman on that. It's just a force play. You just reach out, but he went to tag Pete Crow Armstrong. That made no sense to me, and because he tried to tag Pete, he's safe.
So 2 down, men at second and third. Moises Ballesteros batting. It's a line drive base hit to right. This will drive in 2 more runs. A clutch 2-run single for Moises Ballesteros. Listen to this crowd.
And the one thing you really want to have happen here early in this season is get Ballesteros off and running and let him get some hits, drive in some runs, and get himself comfortable in that DH role. He gets this high cutter about chest high, and he just wallops this ball through the right side for a base knock.
His first 2 RBIs of the year. Cubs lead 6-0. And here's Dansby Swanson. Ballesteros is not a base-stealing threat. And the pitch on the way. Dansby takes outside.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Hitters and I think sluggers always like to get on the board early in the year with their first hits, their first homers, their first RBIs.
Absolutely.
They know they're going to get them, but it just kind of makes you calm down once you achieve that.
Yeah, you sleep a lot better after you hit the first hit and the first home run, no doubt.
Here's the 1-0 to Dansby. And he'll take a breaking ball outside.
That double by Nico, that's sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenience. Southwest just makes sense. Kind of like hitting doubles. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Nico Horner doubled and scored a run in this inning. Great save by O'Hoppe on a pitch that was way outside.
See, O'Hoppe's having an issue because he goes down on one knee, and his right knee is the one on the ground. When you have your right knee on the ground, you can't go to your right very well. And that's where Johnson keeps missing.
There's a strike, and the count now 3-1. Cubs with a couple of big innings, 3 in the first, 3 here in the third. Lead 6-0. Big hole on the right side for Dansby. He will crack a base hit into left field. Stopping at second is Ballesteros. Swanson hit that ball with authority. Solid line drive base hit to left.
Happ home run, a bomb to left, Oppo. Pregame hit the line drive to left. That was an out. Armstrong with a bullet up the middle single. Nico with a double. The line out by Kelly, and now a couple bullets by Ballesteros and Swanson. Cubs really putting the wood to Johnson here in this inning.
2 men on, 2 down, 3 runs in the bank. Michael Conforto struck out his first time. Has a count of 0-1, waiting. Runners take their leads. Conforto out in front of a changeup, swings and misses.
Real quick in the attendance game, I'm going to go 37,000, and the Maestro Paul Zarain going 32,922.
Very good. We're all locked in. The Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's just probably not worth drinking. Now the pitch, Conforto strike.
The hit run is on, and it's going to be an unassisted triple play.
How do you go from a triple play to a two-way star through a bracelet and the babe? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
This story starts way back in the early 20th century.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, Neil, where are you going? He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors, where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before, both across the country and around the world.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's back.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects.
Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Clubs Citgo. Download the Clubs Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Around the National League Central, the Reds leading the Pirates 2-0. They're in the top half of the 8th inning. Will Benson with an RBI triple for Cincinnati. The Rays strike first. They've got a 1-0 lead over the Brewers. Bottom 3 in Milwaukee. And in St. Louis, Mets and Cardinals tied at 1 in the last of the 3rd. Pat?
Mike Trout, 3-time league MVP, leads off this 4th inning for the Angels. Cubs on top 6-0. Trout takes a strike in the count now 2-1. Mentioned that he's been so injured frequently, only twice appearing in over 100 games in the last 6 years. Pop up to first. It's going to be caught by Bush right near the bag. And in 2 of those years, Ron, Trout appeared in fewer than 50 games. And they've just missed him. He just has not been available. He was an all-star every year from 2012 through 2019. And I think at one time he was considered like one of the top 2 or 3 players in all of baseball all the time.
Yeah, I would say you were probably looking at the best player for a 5-6 year period in the game. There's, you know, they used this term, it was a scouting term years ago, of a 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, power, arm, speed, hit for average, you know, run. He had all 5. He was the ultimate 5-tool player. You could say that about some guys, but he did them all in the big leagues and did them all really well. Just great talent.
Nolan Schanuel takes outside, 2-1.
I'm looking at his numbers, his career numbers. 294 lifetime hitter, 406 home runs.
Liner into right field, a base hit. 1 out single for Schanuel. And the batter is Jorge Soler.
Just starting to look at those numbers. He's got over 1,000 RBIs. That's got HOF written all over it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Many times when you read a story about him, it'll say future Hall of Famer Mike Trout.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Here is Soler.
First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity? Imagine that.
Soler fouls it away. Soler, one of the sluggers in the game. Just his size, and you watch him swing a few times, you know he's got power.
Like Georgie, when he was a Cub, he would have days like today, just wind blowing out, and the Cubs would take batting practice. He would put on some kind of show here at Wrigley Field.
A swing and a foul at the plate, 0-2.
He hit some balls, Pat, and in the game that went down at Kenmore, which kind of empties into Wrigley Field. He hit some balls down that street in that Kingman territory. He is some kind of strong.
Cubs lead 6-0, top of the fourth, 1 away, and a man at first. And Soler lines it foul deep to left and back out of play. The first out in the inning. It took place a moment ago. And for the first out in the inning, I know there's something that we are supposed to be reading.
Yeah, we got it. It's Xfinity. Imagine that.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years.
There was a message on our video board right in front of us in huge letters. It said first out.
Yeah.
And when I see those huge letters, I know that we'd better.
Yeah, they mean business,
start,
don't they?
Yeah, start reading a commercial and read it fast. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Soler. Swinging a bouncing ball to third, fielded by Bregman. Go to second. There's one.
There's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. And the Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the fifth inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that? I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Guys, a reminder, Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball on Chicago Sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score and the Odyssey app. And, Pat, they're doing a lot more than that today here at Wrigley Field.
They're going to be singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game a little later on. Matt and Lawrence tossed out first pitches. Michael Busch leads off the Cubs' fourth inning. Cubs on top 6-0. The delivery from Ryan Johnson, making his first major league start tonight. Missing for a ball. Johnson has been roughed up, giving up 3 runs in the first, 3 in the third. Swing and a foul back. Only 1 home run. That was by Ian Happ in the third. Carson Kelly had a bloop 2-run single in the first. Moises Ballesteros a clutch 2-run single in the third. Busch takes inside. It's one of those nights, though, Ron, you don't want to call off the dogs too early. No. Because 5 or 6 run rallies are quite achievable by any big league team in these conditions.
Yeah, you want to keep pounding the baseball tonight.
Low and outside, 3-2.
How many games have we seen 13 to 11 in these, in days like today with this wind blowing out? And as we say that, the wind's picking up and blowing out to center even harder than it was earlier.
Here's a ball outside. Busch gets the walk. I will say I don't remember ever seeing these conditions in a game in the month of March.
No. Well, we're just kind of, this is new territory for, Major League Baseball playing in this, in this month as much as we do. But I can tell you when we looked at the schedule and we saw we were playing at home to open up the season, I was expecting to be dressed a little different than we are tonight.
Yeah. Well, we had a little chilly weather over the weekend with the Nationals here in town, but you expect it.
Yeah.
Breaking ball is down low. It's 2-0. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, and then a day game Wednesday. And the 2-0 from Ryan Johnson. Line down the left field line, base hit. Bregman with a sharp single. Boy, that ball just jumps off his bat. He looks good.
He really does. He had an absolute bullet to left field and was out. Just hit it right at the left fielder, but a rocket. Now this one, he covers this pitch up and in and turns on it and hits a rocket again to left field for a base knock.
Here is Ian Happ. Ian with a walk and a run scored in the first. And then an opposite field solo home run in the third.
Kind of surprised Angels do not have anybody warming up in the bullpen. Johnson 70, now that's 76 pitches in the fourth. And Cubs, he hasn't exactly been, there hasn't been a lot of bleeder. There we go. Now we got someone warming up.
They played 4 straight games in Houston. Cubs had 1 day off in their series against Washington. But when you're playing in a dome facility, there's no need to take a day off. You just keep playing baseball. Now the 0-1. Happ swings and misses. Had a good rip.
Might be the best pitch Johnson's thrown tonight. That was a cutter up underneath Happ's hands inside on the corner.
Busch leads at second. Bregman away from first. Happ looks at a ball away. 1-2. "78 pitches so far from Ryan Johnson. Cubs trying to add to their 6-run lead right now. Runners take their leads, and the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Left by Neto. Throws to first in time. Not the most routine play you'll ever see. Neto charging that ball and then had to make that awkward running sidearm throw to first. That's not an easy throw to make, but he made it.
No, and he had no chance of throwing a second because that ball's hit kind of cued off the end of the bat by Ian. So it's kind of slicing away from him. And now the Angels will play the infield in with 1 out, down by 6.
Pete Crow Armstrong has scored twice. He's got an RBI opportunity here. He walked in the first, singled on the infield in the third. He has scored twice.
Comes Suzuki.
Kurt Suzuki is the manager of the Angels. Is he going to make a change right now?
He hasn't signaled yet, but I would think so.
Yep,
yeah,
that's it. We are going to see a pitching change right now. Johnson will leave the bullpen.
Wow, it's like an Academy Award came to life. How long do you think that took to get ready?
You know, it's really not fun facing a guy with that kind of stuff. I'll just tell you that.
Presented without comment.
It's a raft. It's got an outboard motor. It's got a little barbecue, and it's got a hot tub.
Look at that.
I mean, come on.
American ingenuity.
That is living. What else can go wrong here?
Where are the Angels in the outfield? They're everywhere.
3-2 to Vargas. Got him. Fastball at 99. Back-to-back Ks for Miz.
Setting up on the outside corner, and he hit the glove. Perfect pitch by Mizorowski. Excellent command with that fastball.
1-on-1, and he finishes the inning with a strikeout. Miz with 3 Ks. Got him. Blew him away with 99. 5 Ks in the first 2 innings for Mizorowski. And he struck him out. 10 Ks on opening day for Miz.
Nimmo cracks one out to right center field. Back to the warning track, takes a look, and it's out of here. 15th of his career, and he slams this one to deep right field. Back goes Cruz, back to the wall, and it's out of here. A grand slam for Brandon Nimmo. And Brandon pulls one over the bag. That's going to go down the line. It hits the jutting stands. Alonso is in. Winker will score. Brandon Nimmo with a 9 RBI day.
More than an account number. They put the focus on you. Partner with the people in your corner today at myconsumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
A left-hander in the game pitching for the Angels. RBI opportunity for Pete Crow Armstrong. Runners at second and third. Bush will be the runner at third. Alex Bregman down at second. Joey Lucchesi is the new left-handed pitcher for these Los Angeles Angels.
Now, you and I was joking earlier today. You did it right. I asked you, what do you think the over-under was going to be on me calling them Anaheim in today's game? I haven't done it yet. It's come out a couple times where it was about to, but for years they were the Anaheim Angels. And now they are the Los Angeles Angels.
And here is Pete Crow Armstrong with the infield in, stepping in. Lefty to lefty, Lucchesi rocks and fires. There's a curve low and away, 1-1. Beautiful warm night at Wrigley. And a very enthusiastic gathering. Great to be here at Wrigley when the fans are excited and the team is playing well. You just can't really match the environment. At least not anywhere else that I've been. Here's a curveball down low, 2-1.
That last pitch by Lucchesi, that ball bounced 3 feet in front of home plate. Looked like he threw a little knuckle curve, and I think he forgot the knuckle.
Infield in. Let's see if Pete Crow Armstrong can drive in a run or two. The pitch chopped foul, and it's 2-2. Well, you're a cleanup hitter. You got guys at second and third, one away. This has got RBIs written all over.
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to get a ball up in the zone that you can hammer into the outfield, and you don't have to hit it real hard. The wind is just howling out to center and left center. You get a ball elevated, it'll go out of here in a hurry. See, it's nights like tonight, I wouldn't mind taking batting practice. You know, and this would be one of them nights.
So you get there early on a day like today.
Yeah. You got a chance of hitting some balls a long way today.
For Armstrong, waits for Lucchesi, the 2-2. Strike 3 called. No argument from Pete. He got crossed up on a fastball that time. 2 down.
Yeah, he saw all breaking pitches in that at bat up until the last pitch. Lucchesi splits the plate with a fastball. Pete looking breaking ball.
Walks to Cubs batters, by the way, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Nico Horner, the batter, and he'll take a strike. Nico with a sac fly in the first and a double in the second. He has driven in a run and scored a run. 2 outs, men at second and third. And the 0-1. Just a little bit outside, 1-1. Lucchesi, kind of an old-fashioned style where he gives you a lot of leg kick and a lot of movement. Trying, I suppose, to be deceptive with those leg kicks. Here comes the pitch on the way. Hit foul on the ground right side. Nico may have broken his bat.
Yeah, a little two-seamer fading away from Nico and hit it right off the end of the bat.
He did break his lumbar. How many bats would you go through during a season, Ron?
Quite a few, dozens, probably 15 dozen, 10, 15.
15
yeah, I had
dozen.
a lot. I would go through a lot of bats. I didn't use them. They would splinter, and if they started doing anything like that, I would get rid of them and they'd go to batting practice.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, you'd pick out of, let's say, 6 to a dozen, you'd only pick out 3 or 4 that you'd consider gamers.
Bounced in the hole at short. Neto with a running throw to first to get him to end the inning.
How does one of baseball's most celebrated plays connect to one of baseball's most notorious curses? Through a cross-country move, an earthquake, and the Men of Steel? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
But let me touch it for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals, and they'd be too expensive again to maintain. It would put them into financial ruin.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
Nobody could steal a base like Ricky.
I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
So imagine making steals in these, though.
So these are Thai Cubs.
And these
cleats.
are Thai Cubs.
So what I want to know is, were they ever swabbed for the DNA of opposing pitchers?
Roberts is no stranger to stolen bases himself.
That's what makes him special, is that everybody knew he was going to steal.
Roberts is going. Safe.
You know what they say? One great play deserves another.
Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Watch live on YouTube and Twitch.
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Top of the 5th here at Wrigley Field. First night game of the season, and the Cubs looking good. A 6-0 lead over the Angels. Right-hander Edward Cabrera deals, and his first pitch to Yoan Moncada, who's grounded right back to Cabrera. Fields in front of the rubber. Underhand toss to Bush at first. One pitch, one away as Moncada is retired. The first out, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Well, nice play by Cabrera. That ball hit sharply about shin high, and he gobbled that ball up. Very nice play.
Now the batter, Joe Adell, powerful right-handed hitter. The pitch. This is up high and outside, 1-0. A fastball clocked at 97 miles per hour. Wind blowing straight out. The next pitch is a swing and miss at a breaking ball. 1-1 the count on Adell.
Wonder if there are any balls left after batting practice for either team today. Because this would be home run derby. Everybody you get in the air during batting practice, they're all leaving the yard.
The 1-1 offering. Adell swings and misses. Slider off the outside, 1-2. Yeah, you were jealous of the guys with the bat in their hands.
Yeah, no.
Taking PP today.
This is the day you want to hit. If there's ever going to be a day you want to take batting practice, this is it.
Yeah, first pitch, wind was blowing out at 18 miles per hour. It's around there at the moment. Here's the pitch by Cabrera. Adell taps it foul off to the left. Count remains 1-2. Cabrera's given up just one hit, a single to Nolan Shaunawell, which came in the fourth. He's been efficient tonight, 57 pitches. Cabrera faces home plate, works on the first base side of the rubber. He whirls and deals. That pitch is a check swing on appeal. That's strike three. He went around, says the first base umpire, Chris Guccione. 2 away.
Good two-seamer running in, and Dell recognized it late and knows he's got to try to cover this. The barrel definitely crosses the front edge of home plate.
So 2 down. Here's Josh Lowe, the left fielder. He looks at a strike. Slow-moving breaking ball that floats into the zone. 0-1 the count. Cabrera working quickly. The next pitch, a big swing and a miss. And a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-2.
Good high gas with some movement. Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner, the Chicago Cubs.
The 0-2 is foul back just to the left of us, onto the roof. What a night here at Wrigley Field. Nearly 80 degrees at first pitch. It's in the low 70s right now.
Wow.
Can we bottle this? At least for the rest of the first half. Here comes the 0-2. Misses low and inside with a change.
I'd take it through April. Just through April. That's all we need.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. 1-2 the count. Cabrera peers in, gets the sign from Kelly and deals. And a fly ball hit to shallow left, angling toward the line. Happ, he's got it, makes the catch. Angels go down in order here on the...
Out into the Bermuda Triangle. Wow. Acuna with a shoestring grab. And here's some pop off the bat. Ramirez, but a diving stop. Cole Young, a bounce throw. Retires Ramirez.
The 1-1. Grounded up the middle into center field. Blue Jays win. Andres Jimenez walks it up.
Slap to the left side. Diving grab. Austin Riley playing over the shortstop position.
Merrill going back at the wall. He leaps and Merrill makes the catch. Jackson Merrill and some Merrill madness brings it back in the yard.
Good old-fashioned snatch it back.
Before we start the bottom of the fifth here at Wrigley Field, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman with you. Bottom 5, Cubs leading the Angels 6-0. It's the opener of a 3-game set. Today is the last day to get your Cubs Charities 50-50 raffle tickets with a current jackpot of $13,126. Get your ticket now through the end of the game at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning. Carson Kelly will lead things off here in the 5th for the Cubs. Right-handed batter, 1 for 2 today. And a 2-run single in the first. Joey Lucchesi deals, and a bouncing ball off the glove of Lucchesi. It bounces to the right, fielded by the second baseman. Peraza is thrown to first in time to get Kelly one away. That was an awkward play.
Yeah, ball hit very sharply back at Lucchesi, and it hits him off the glove and deflects from going up the middle to the second base position, not over the bag. And nice play to get Kelly. Peraza had to go a long way to get to that ball after the deflection and makes a good, strong throw.
So mark that one down, 1-4-3. One down here in the bottom of the 5th. Moises Ballesteros digs in. He had a 2-run single in the 3rd. Left-handed batter against the lefty Lucchesi. Works his motion and deals. Up high and tight. 1-0 the count.
Okay, now after seeing that high fastball inside, I would guess the veteran pitcher would start spinning some breaking balls. Be a good time to sit on a hook. Next few pitches, see if you get one in the middle of the plate.
Let's see if Ballesteros
go a long way.
Thinking like you. The pitch. And that one is a check swing foul ball. It was a sinking fastball boring in on Ballesteros. 1-1.
When you sit on breaking ball, you cannot swing it fastball. You're going to be really tardy.
Wind blowing out, 1-1 the count. Ballesteros waits. Lucchesi faces home plate. First base side of the rubber. Now he rocks back and deals. And that one bounces in the dirt. A curveball. 2-1.
Every now and then, Lucchesi, he makes some good pitches to fastball and the breaking ball. And then every now and then with that hook, that's the 3rd one now since he's just entered the game that he's bounced 2 feet, 3 feet in front of home plate. That he's bounced 2 feet, 3 feet in front of home plate.
Ballesteros upright stance, open, uses a toe tap. He waits for the 2-1. Here it comes. Foul back. Another fastball from Lucchesi. 2-2. Dansby Swanson on deck. Cubs with a couple of big innings tonight. A 3-run first, a 3-run third. Ian Happ has homered in 3 consecutive games. Hit a solo shot earlier tonight. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the breaking ball.
High curveball. This pitch, Ballesteros sees it and he wants to attack it. It's not a strike. It's just up. And, you expect that ball to come down into the zone, and it just didn't come down into the zone. It stayed up.
So now the batter, Dansby Swanson, got his first hit of the season his last time up, a single. It's 1 for 2 tonight. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, uses a toe tap. Lucchesi, the left-hander, works his motion. The pitch misses, high and outside. 1-0. Cubs trying to even their record at 2-2. The pitch. Foul back by Swanson. Another fastball from Lucchesi.
Dansby in his last at bat hit an absolute bullet to left for a base knock.
Swanson waits for the 1-1. And the pitch. Called strike, splitter. Right along the outside edge near the top of the zone.
Lucchesi hasn't thrown many splitters. He's only thrown under a handful in 17 pitches, maybe 2 or 3.
Now the 1-2. That's low. Another splitter.
Unless that's the pitch that he's bouncing and it comes out looking like a breaking ball, but it's actually a splitter, and he's bounced that pitch, well out in front of home plate.
So the count is 2-2. 2 down here in the last of the fifth. Cubs up 6-0. Lucchesi deals. That one misses low, a sinking fastball. Full count. Matt Shaw is on the on-deck circle. Michael Conforto is due to hit, but the lefty Lucchesi is now out there. 2 away. Here's the payoff pitch to Swanson. Fouled away. Off to the right, out of play.
He's had some good swings in this at bat. See if he can get one more good pitch to hit.
Lucchesi faces home plate. Acknowledges the sign from O'Hoppe. Glove in front of the face. A wind up, and now we've got a pitch clock violation called on Lucchesi. It's ball 4. Dansby heads to first.
Wow. That's all you can say to that. Sometimes these things come out of nowhere, and you just, I just didn't, you don't see this too often. That was pretty close. It was, within that one count of it being, him starting to throw to home. And sometimes I think as an umpire, you have to be looking for that to call it, right? If it's close, like that was 3, 2, 1, 0, then the pitch. And if you're not looking at that board during that, you can't call it. He had to be looking at it, thinking it was close, multiple times.
Charlie Ramos clearly was looking at that board. So Swanson reaches first base on the walk via the pitch clock violation on Lucchesi. Cubs send Matt Shaw to the plate to pinch hit for Michael Conforto. Right-handed batter against the lefty Lucchesi, who sets at the belt. High leg kick and pitch. And Shaw looks at a ball up high. That was a curve that missed. 1-0. And sometimes you don't know if umpires have been warned that that's a point of emphasis, for them. They might have missed one of those pitch clock violations in a previous series. Here's the 1-0. Shaw bounces one through up the middle for a base hit. Swanson on his way to third base, and the Cubs have men at the corners after the pinch hit single by Shaw. 2 down here in the last of the fifth, and Michael Busch will stand in.
A good job by Shaw coming in. He was aggressive on a fastball. This pitch, two-seamer right in the middle of the plate. He hammers this ball back through the middle.
So here's Busch, 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. Left-handed batter. The catcher, O'Hoppe, calls time, steps in front of home plate.
They're going to give some signs on where he's going to throw the ball if Cubs try a steal with Shaw, because you got the double steal opportunity with Shaw and Dansby on the bases.
2 down, men at the corners. Shaw's at first, Swanson at third, Busch at the plate. The pitch. Misses high with a curveball, 1-0.
And if you ask why that's important, if the catcher is not going to throw the ball through to second base, if Shaw takes off, the 2 middle infielders, they do not want to go to second. They just hold their ground in their position.
Throw to first. Shaw gets back ahead of the tag by Shonowell. Busch waits for the 1-0. Another throw to first. Shaw dives back in safely, way ahead of the throw. Cubs up 6-0, 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth. Men at the corners, Busch at the plate. Shaw goes. The 1-0 is in the dirt, no throw. Stolen base for Matt Shaw.
How Matty takes off after the 2 pickoff throws. If you throw back to first base, you either pick him off or it's a balk. He knew once that leg came up, he wasn't throwing. Shaw steals the base. And both middle infielders did not give ground. They did not come to cover the bag, either one. they were going to give Shaw the stolen base.
Cubs steals are powered by a Toro tire. Here's the pitch. A check swing, foul ball at the plate. 2-1.
Kind of an odd play at home plate. Bushy swings at a pitch way up and in and makes contact with it, and the ball goes straight down into him and then just trickles right out in front of home plate. And he started moving towards first. It's one of those things, the home plate umpire saw this better than anybody else, because it hit Bush in the back leg after it bounced right at his feet.
Men at second and third for the Cubs, 2 away. A 2-1 count on Bush. Lucchesi works his motion, and Bush swings and misses at a sinking fastball boring in. 2-2. Cubs looking for a big 2-out hit here with the count 2-2. Bush waits. Here's the pitch. Up high, he's worked a full count.
Well, you would think Lucchesi really wants to go after Bush. You got Pregame on deck, who's homered twice yesterday and hit 2 balls right on the button. Bushy should get a good pitch.
The payoff pitch. Bouncing ball foul off the fencing, protecting the Angels dugout along the first base line. Count remains 3-2.
Bushy having a hard time picking up that pitch inside. He's chasing that pitch in. That one fouled that one off his knee.
Ooh. So here we go again. The count is full. Men at second and third for the Cubs. Lucchesi deals. High leg kick and pitch. A bouncing ball hit on the right side. Backhanded by Shotwell. Races to the first base bag. Gets there before Bush in time for out number.
Rips this one to right center field. Back it goes! Get out! Second career grand slam, Colson Montgomery. Liner to right center. Soler lays out, and he caught it!
Soler selective.
Jorge Soler! What a play!
In the air, out towards center field. Young is back. It's the wall. Happ lifts that in the air. Left field. That's back. That's gone. Back-to-back Bregman and Happ.
To short. They'll get 1 and 2. What a turn.
Kidding me? It goes from a base hit to a double play. How about those 2 guys up the middle? Are you kidding me?
Casey swings. Casey hits it in the air. Casey to deep right. We're going home.
He hits one high and deep to left field. Eugenio Suarez gets the Diamondbacks on the board. Suarez fly ball, and it's gone. Suarez hits another fly ball, gone.
Oh my!
Suarez, fly ball. There's 4. There have been 19 four-homer games in Major League history.
Northwestern Memorial Hospital used tiny balloons to widen the vessels in his lungs, the first in Illinois to master this breakthrough method.
As Mike's nurse, I'm proud to have helped him breathe freely again.
Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY@villageofbedfordpark.com.
All opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Pat?
All right, Zach, thank you. Logan O'Hoppe will lead things off for the Angels in this 6th inning. Edward Cabrera still going strong. 5 shutout innings of 1 hit ball. And the first offering in there for a call strike. He gave up a single to Nolan Shanuel in the 4th inning, and that's the only blemish on his slate. He did walk a man, but just one hit allowed in his Cubs debut. Cabrera coming back. Logan O'Hoppe swings and misses in the count 1-2. Cubs trying to even up their record at 2-2 on the young season. The next offering bounced to short toward the hole. Swanson gloves it, sets the feet, makes the throw to get him. Good play by Dansby. One down in this sixth inning. Cubs on top 6-0. And the batter Oswald Peraza. Take a look at some baseball history as we move along. First offering swung on and missed. First out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. We're getting the attendance figure. We'll pass that along momentarily. Another excellent crowd here at Wrigley. Not only in terms of number, but in terms of enthusiasm. I think this warm night in March has brought out the real baseball fan in a lot of people, Ron. It's a baseball night. It's a great night for a game. The 1-2. Taken low and away, 2-2.
I mean, we're talking about the last couple days of March, and mid-70s all day here in Chicago. This is about as nice a night as you get. I don't care what month it is here at Wrigley.
2-2 pulled foul toward the Cubs third base dugout. March the 30th down through the baseball years. Again, many baseball seasons were not yet underway in March. So you can imagine that we don't have quite as many items on this date as we would, say, in May or June or July, but we have a few. I'll tell you, one trade that was very significant in Cubs history took place on this date, March the 30th, 1992. The White Sox and the Cubs. Sammy Sosa came to the north side in exchange for George Bell. Sammy Sosa and pitcher Ken Patterson went from the White Sox to the Cubs, and George Bell went to the Sox. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cabrera gets the strikeout. And that's out number 2. He's rolling along.
You know, and at that time, George Bell was an elite power guy in the league. Really was.
But you think about all the great things that Sammy accomplished in a Cub uniform. Historic. And the pitch on the way, in there for a strike. And the question remains, will he ever get his call from Cooperstown? Outside for a ball, will Mark McGwire get his call from Cooperstown? And there are others, but those were the two prominent back many, many years ago. They did have a classic home run chase. Swinging a foul back.
Yeah, I was playing during that time when they were doing that, and it's. Remember when they were chasing Ruth and Maris's records. You know, we'd be warming up before a ball game in a city that had no relevance to their games, and they would show their at-bats on the scoreboard. You know, you'd be in Texas playing, and the Cardinals or Cubs weren't there. I remember playing in Texas as a Minnesota Twin, and they were showing their at-bats.
Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zach Netto's.
Will swings, hits a high drive to center field and deep. This ball back, this ball gone!
Not only his birthday, it's the bobblehead.
Covering some ground, Donovan slides, crashes, and he makes the catch.
See that left knee that gets caught underneath that wall.
Ground ball, base hit, one-run scores. Here comes Walker. Here comes the throw. Cardinals win it.
You can't script your first 2 big league games any better than that.
Top of the order. What a play by Nunez.
Oh, my goodness.
What a throw!
The strength of his arm to just absolutely deliver.
Payoff pitch. Tom Smith hits it deep to right field. Back on it, and what a way to close. Walk-off grand slam in his Braves debut.
They're loaded now for Langoliers.
2 grand slams in his career. Crack to deep center field. Varsho going back as far as he can go. And Langoliers has a grand slam. Shea's 3rd home run of the series is a grand slam. And they have blown this game wide open.
And in grand fashion.
Shea Langoliers can do no wrong right now.
Alex Bregman is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Pat?
Sean Anderson, a right-hander, the new man on the mound for the Angels. Long blonde hair flowing out the back of his cap. First pitch to Alex Bregman is ball 1. Bregman 1 for 3. The pitch to Alex on his 32nd birthday. Bregman takes ball 2. The baseball history we were talking about brought to you by the Village of Bedford.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. A bouncer to short, fielded by Neto, and he throws to first to get Bregman. And that's out number 1. And the batter is Ian Happ.
Well, let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning. Sponsored by Flight by Yingling. Next generation light beer. That's on tap so far as Cubs 6-0 here in the 6th. That's a good tap.
Ian Happ with a solo opposite field home run back in the 3rd. And he takes outside for a ball. His 3rd of the year already. And the next pitch, big bouncer to first, charging and picking it is Shanuel, and he runs over and steps on the bag for out number 2. 3 unassisted run. The batter is PCA.
I think you called it coming out of the last half inning that thought Cabrera would be done. Colin Ray now warming up in the bullpen for the Cubs, and if Cabrera is done for the day, and Tommy Hotovy, we're getting a shot in our monitor, is sitting next to him, so he probably is done. Boy, he had a heck of a ball game.
Can't do much better than he did. 6 innings, 1 hit allowed, and no runs. He would like to duplicate that over and over and over again all season long. You can't expect that every time, of course, but you're giving your team a great chance to.
McGonigal in his major league debut has a 4-hit day.
Wow, have a debut, kid.
So it's this easy in the big leagues, huh?
Going back, J.J. Weatherholt homers in his debut. Incredible. Just goosebumps right now at Busch Stadium. You could not have written that any better. It's a 2-homer night for Chase DeLauder.
Now Dad's up.
Did you see how the ball just jumped off his bat? I mean, that was pretty.
Lawler hustling back to the track, to the fence, makes a leaping catch. Oh, what a play, Lawler.
That was unbelievable. Air Lawler out there.
That's hit well toward left. Church back up against the wall. Leaping try. He got it. What a catch. What a play. Talk about this team being energetic, exciting, showing it all off.
Baseball man.
on the field. Skunk City.
Oh, nobody is going near it. Look at that.
Killer Skunk.
Going into the dugout. That'll empty that dugout in a hurry. Look at him go. And the cameraman. Oh, the cameraman to go.
The first out in the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. Cabrera leaves after 6 brilliant innings of shutout ball. You could not ask for a better debut than he turned in here tonight. And the Cubs lead by 6 runs as this 7th inning commences. Mike Trout at the plate. First pitch strike from Colin Ray. Ray, the right-hander, delivers, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Colin Ray, one of the unsung heroes on the Cubs team a year ago, Ron. I think it might surprise some people that he was actually second on the team in innings pitched with 159. It is a strike on the appeal or on the challenge. So a good challenge by Carson Kelly. The count on Trout is 0-2. Colin Ray works from a stretch on every pitch. The delivery outside for a ball. Matthew Boyd led the staff with 179 innings. Colin Ray right behind him at 159. Then Shota Imanaga 144, Tyone 129, Cade Horton 118. But I think that surprised me when I saw that. A swing and a miss. Ray strikes out Mike Trout.
Now, Colin Ray, one of those guys that, you know, every team needs. If you're going to play in October and get to the playoffs, you need guys that step up and do something. He was tabbed to be like the 6th or 7th starter and a bullpen guy. Well, that didn't last long. He was in the rotation right away and was outstanding.
And he's a veteran. He's been through the wars many years. Those guys seem to be a little better able to handle a load that is sometimes a starter, sometimes a bullpen. Here's a bouncer to second. Nico Horner makes the play to first in time. It would be asking a lot of a rookie pitcher to accept that role, Ron. We'll discuss this a bit later on. Turned over, and Ron Kummer had vacated the booth. It's kind of a lonely feeling. Matt Spiegel is going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Big night for Matt. He tossed out the first pitch. And now he's going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here at the end of this top of the 7th inning. Jorge Soler, the batter, takes inside. It's ball 2. Soler has struck out and bounced into a double play. Cubs leading 6-0. And the pitch. A little looper into shallow right. That's going to be a base hit. Pretty good pitch in on the hands. He jammed him. 7th inning stretch coming up, sponsored by the Volvo XC90. Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for wherever the road takes you. And they sponsor the 7th inning stretch. And the delivery is low and inside for a ball. Now I see Lawrence Holmes in the booth also. Are you guys both going to sing? Just Matt's going to sing. Okay. Here comes the 1-0 pitch on the way. Deep drive to right, down the line. If it's fair, it's going to leave the yard. That's a home run. Yoan Moncada pulling one in the air right down the line and right. Gone by plenty. And the Angels get on the board. It's now a 6-2 ball game. Moncada with his first home run of the year. The ball started out right down the line. The wind kind of pulled it more towards straightaway right. And Moncada gets his first home run. The Angels get on the board. It's now a 6-2 Cubs lead. Joe Adell the batter. Adell swings and misses. Adell 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out and flied out. He'll take a strike, and it's 0-2. Cubs had a good series in Anaheim against this team a year ago, winning all 3 games in August. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ray strikes out Adell. The Angels score twice on the home run by Moncada. It's a 6-2 Cubs lead as we go to the 7th inning. And the 7th inning stretch. And all set to sing. Here is the Score's very own Matt Spiegel.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Host of sports podcast, The Spiegel and Holmes Show, Matt Spiegel.
All right. Let me hear you good and loud on a beautiful night for baseball. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the... If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old.
Schlittler, 25 years old. He spent the season until June in Double-A last year, then moved up to Triple-A, and he was called up to the Yankees on July 9th, and what a difference he made. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the sinker. Swing and a miss. That's the sinker. 4 strikeouts in a row, 8 on the game.
Basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Nico Horner leads off the Cubs' 7th inning. Anderson still pitching for the Angels. Cubs lead 6-2. Let's see if they can build that lead back up a little bit. 4-run lead, if it's real cold and windy and hard to score, is a nice big lead. But in these conditions, a 4-run lead is not overly secure.
Yeah, wind blowing the way it is out the straightaway center.
Horner drove in a run with a first inning sac fly. He had a double and scored a run in the 3rd. Cubs with a pair of 3-run rallies early in the game in the 1st and 3rd innings. Will it be enough? And will they need some more? Let's see. The pitch to Nico. And he'll take a strike from Anderson. 3-2. Pretty nice rendition by Matt Spiegel.
That's what I was going to ask you. I stepped out of the booth because they had a lot of people in here. What did you think?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right.
Nico takes outside ball 4. Nico on base. He's always a threat to steal, and this might be a spot for him to run. I'm looking at the lead. Got a 4-run advantage. Why not?
Yeah, no, I would agree. Got to take a peek and see, how Anderson is to the plate. If he's fast, is he slow? Can you get a jump?
Carson Kelly takes outside.
That time he slide step to home, so that was very quick.
Kelly had a bloop 2-run single in the first, one of the key plays in this game. He came with 2 outs and 2 on. And his blooper fell into shallow center. Some confusion, I would say a lack of communication between infielders and outfielders, which is very common on windy days and nights at Wrigley. And it fell in. And instead of the inning being over on the pop fly, it drove in 2 big runs. Now Horner runs. He got a pretty good jump, and the throw to second base not in time. The Angels might challenge the call. Nico went in head first. The tag by the second baseman Peraza was on the back of the legs of Nico as he was reaching for the bag. So let's see if they challenge that one. They might.
Yeah, they are not. He said safe. That's where you want to throw, though. If it's up the line, you at least got a chance with the swipe tag. And Nico is safe at second base as we see a replay in our monitor. It's another stolen base for Nico. Very nice jump, as you said.
Bouncing ball toward third, foul. Nico going in head first on the stolen base.
Stolen bases by the Cubs are powered by a Turo tire.
Pitching changes by the Cubs. We saw Colin Ray come in to work the top of the inning. That's sponsored by James Hardy Building Products. Siding with the Cubs, James Hardy. Chopper foul. Looked like Kelly was trying to hit the ball to the other side to advance the runner. Sometimes the pitch just makes it almost impossible, though, for you to be able to do that. Right?
I would agree. 7th inning stretch today, sung by Matt Spiegel, sponsored by Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for whatever and wherever the road takes you.
Kelly swings and misses, strike 3, and that's out number 1. Big sharp breaking ball gets him. Horner at second. Cubs lead 6-2. And here's Moises Ballesteros. Moises had one of the big hits in the game, a 2-run single in the third.
Yeah, right now that's a big swing of the bat.
And he'll take outside for a ball. I remember when he made his debut last season, Ron, you liked him immediately.
Yeah, you know anything about hitting and you watch Ballesteros take his batting practice, do his work. It takes about 5 minutes to go, that's a hitter. That's a guy that's going to hit.
What are some of the things you notice?
Well, first of all, that leg kick is always on time. That's a very difficult thing. The other thing that you notice immediately about him is his barrel stays in the hitting zone for a long time. So he can hit the ball from all the way from the left field foul line to the right field foul line and keep the ball fair. And at any pitch, any time. When you do that, you're going to hit for a high average because, the defense is to play you straight up because you're going to spray the ball all over the field. And that has been the case. He has sprayed the ball all over the field. And he's a big kid. He's got some power.
He's waiting for the 1-0 pitch from Anderson. The lead at second by Horner. The pitch down low. Let's talk about that statement, Ron, of keeping the bat in the hitting area for a long time. Is that something that a hitter can develop? It sounds like a very usable skill. Or is it something you either have or don't have? There is a fastball in there for a strike. 2-1.
It is something I think Ballesteros has, but it is something you can work at. There's no doubt. You know, you can be a talented hitter, but, you know, your barrel gets in the hitting zone and then out of it kind of quick. What you'd like to do is keep it in there as long as possible.
Bouncer to short. The throw will go to first. Neto throws to Shonewell in time. On the play, Horner advances to third. Cubs leading 6-2. Bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs now. The batter is Dansby Swanson.
And, you know, guys that have had that ability that you would know. Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs, Rod Carew, who you talked about. There's some guys, you know, now Aaron Judge. Judge's bat stays in the hitting zone a long time. That's why he hits a lot of home runs to right center field.
Dansby swings and misses. Now here's a spot where you just need a base hit. Not that that's an easy thing to do, but you're trying to put the ball in play. You got a guy at third with 2 down. That might be an important run in this game. Cubs lead 6-2. And the 0-1 to Dansby, driven in the air to left down the line, curling foul and back out of play. Well, you got to wait on fly balls on these windy days and nights. Sometimes the ball leaves the bat and you think, no chance, nobody's going to catch that. And then the wind starts doing its magic. And the next thing you know, the ball lands on the field of play.
With that wind blowing out the straightaway center, anything going down the lines gets blown back towards the field of play considerably.
The 0-2 to Swanson. Line drive center field. Trout coming in. It's a base hit. A base hit and an RBI for Dansby Swanson. Nico Horner comes in to score, and the lead is a little more secure. It's 7-2.
Great at bat by Dansby. Put some good swings on some of these pitches, and then gets the pitch. What it looked like to me up and in. I'm not sure what the pitch was, but it was up and in, and he fought this ball off, got the barrel to it, and hit it right back through the middle. A line drive bullet to drive in a run.
His second RBI of the year. And the Cubs have a 5-run lead now. Last of the 7th. Matt Shaw batting for the second time. Had a base hit. His first time, he swings and fouls it back.
Big swing by Matty there. Coming to you live all season long, the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
It is Edward Cabrera's game to win. He pitched a quality start, as they say. Fastball missing. Just to refresh your memory, a quality start would be 6 or more innings and allowing 3 or fewer earned runs to the opposition. And obviously your team has to win the game and you have to leave. Well, no, actually, you can get a quality start without your team winning. Here's a ground ball to third, fielded by Moen.
3-2 to Vargas. Got him. Fastball at 99. Back-to-back Ks for Miz.
Setting up on the outside corner, and he hit the glove. Perfect pitch by Mizorowski. Excellent command with that fastball.
1-0-1, and he finishes the inning with a strikeout. Miz with 3 Ks. Got him. Blew him away with 99. 5 Ks in the first 2 innings for Mizorowski. And he struck him out. 10 Ks on opening day for Miz.
Yeah, Jim, they're looking to hit the brakes here, and because that grass out there is moist, it'll be tough to get your footing out there.
Up the middle, backhanded by Lindor, who stumbles as he throws it away. Alonso, a diving attempt to stop that one.
They're playing a little tic-tac-toe over there by the Pirates dugout. And Emmanuel Valdez says, get serious.
We're going to need to check back in on this situation.
See if he gets that one on anytime soon.
Oh, they kept going.
I mean, you got to stop the top guy.
Oh.
Care you deserve. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services.
When choosing a financial partner, you want people you trust. At Consumers Credit Union, you can trust they put you first. Partner with the people in your corner at myconsumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Top of the 8th inning here at Wrigley. Cubs up 7-2. Eighth inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. It's Cars of the K to donate your car today, Patrick.
Well, we move on to inning number 8. It is Cabrera's game to win. Colin Ray working on the mound in this 8th inning. First pitch bounced to first, fielded by Bush. Underhand feed to Ray in timeout number 1. Quality start. In fact, we can call it a top quality start by Edward Cabrera tonight. Those are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Start your next project with quality paints from Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
First out here, Pat, sponsored by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Logan O'Hoppe, the batter. O'Hoppe tonight has flied out twice. Next offering missing. 1 ball and 1 strike on O'Hoppe. Ray works over on the first base side of the rubber. Always works out of the stretch. This ball is hit in the air to deep left field. With a play is Happ on the track making the catch. Ian backpedaling to within about 7 feet of the ivy-covered brick walls. No green ivy yet, just the vines.
Yeah, not an easy play as that wind blowing it out there. All the fly balls and deep fly balls are tough plays today. Tough plays that are sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough with that wind blowing out the way it has been all game. Not an easy place to play in the Cubs outfield.
Looks like Ron Coomer was the winner in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. 2 down, we're in the 8th inning. Did I hear that little sound of jubilation?
Yeah, my fans.
Ron guessed 36,500, not too far off the actual count. 36,702. Swing and a miss by Oswald Peraza. Cubs leading 7-2 here in the 8th inning. 2 down, nobody on. And the pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2.
Got anything for catch of the game, you think? I know Cabrera made a really nice play on a bullet hit to get him in the second inning.
That was a pretty nice play.
Yeah, that low line drive, 1 hopper, he thought.
Did you say 1 hoppy?
Yeah.
There's a bouncer to short, fielded by Swanson.
Taken out of the game as a pitcher, but the Ohtani rule allows him to stay in as the DH. Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His 3rd home run! An all-time game for an all-time player. 3 homers. He makes it 5-0.
114 off the bat, and this one only 427.
The opposite way.
Yeah, he's alive. He's back.
3-2 to Vargas. Got him. Fastball at 99. Back-to-back Ks for Miz.
Setting up on the outside corner, and he hit the glove. Perfect pitch by Mizarowski. Excellent command with that fastball.
1-on-1, and he finishes the inning with a strikeout. Miz with 3 Ks. Got him. Blew him away with 99. 5 Ks in the first 2 innings for Mizorowski. And he struck him out. 10 Ks on opening day for Miz.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Reds beat the Pirates 2-0. Chase Burns, 5 scoreless innings, gave up just 1 hit and struck out 7 to pick up his first win of the season. The Nationals crushed the Phillies 13-2. Jose Tena with 3 hits and 2 runs batted in. The Nats now 3-1.
Swing and a miss by Michael Bush on the first pitch. Now he fouls one at the plate. And the count 0-2 on Michael Bush, leading off this 8th inning. What else you got there, Zach?
Miguel Vargas, a grand slam. White Sox win their first game of the year, a 9-4 victory over the Marlins, who lose their first game of the season. The Braves a 4-0 shutout victory over the A's. It was the Rangers 5, Orioles 2. The Royals beat the Twins 3-1. Happ?
Very good, Zach. Here it's the Cubs on top 7-2. A swing and a line drive, right center field, and coming in and making a sliding backhand catch is Adele. Joe Adele, pretty nice catch in right. Took a base hit away from Michael Bush. Well, you can name the toast of the game ball player in the 9th inning. Stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Penny's Beverage Depot coming up in the 9th inning. And also coming up, the post-game show with Zach Zaidman. It's the Old National Bank Cubs radio post-game show. The official bank of the Cubs radio network. First pitch to Bregman is inside. Bregman 1 for 4 in the game. And he'll take high for a ball. Anderson still pitching for the Angels. Sean Anderson delivers again. There's a strike. 2-1. The catch of the game. I'm trying to think, Ron.
What about the low one hopper right back to Cabrera? Wow. This third pitch up and in to Bregman. I know it's not on purpose, but pitcher Anderson kind of losing release point. That one just kind of squirted out of his hand, it looked like.
3-1 on Bregman. And the pitch taken for ball 4. Bregman gets on, one away, 8th inning. Cubs on top 7-2.
Catch of the game sponsored by Catch Des Moines. That play was a real trip, and so is Des Moines. Make it yours at CatchDesMoines.com. How about that play by the pitcher? What do you think? Early in the ball game by Cabrera.
Let's do that one.
One hop with the shins, like a shot and save.
Here is Ian Happ. He homered earlier. He bounces one to second. Barraza goes to Neto over to first.
A home run for Judge. His first hit of the year. It's a 2-run shot. Home run and Carlos Stanton and the Yankees have a 3-0 lead.
Here comes a throw from right on the money. Did they get him? Yes!
Dwight charges.
for Kevin Gausman. He strikes out the side.
Oh, great job by Matt Olson, Gold Glove winner over there with a diving stop. Austin Riley playing over the shortstop position.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Neto to his left. What a play!
Acuna with a shoestring grab.
He has been the Athletics offense tonight.
Andres Jimenez walks it off. He's already hit his third of the young season. Diving stop. Cole Young, a bounce throw. Retires Ramirez.
Oh, he leaps and Merrill makes the catch. Mookie Betts with a laser to right center field.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man.
Yeah.
That's the most
That's
important
a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
In Spanish. Top 10 in the nation for transplant volume, Francisco's living donor team removed part of his liver for his mom's transplant. Northwestern Medicine has saved the most lives through organ transplant in Illinois and its surrounding states. Northwestern Medicine. Better. Learn more at nm.org/transplant.
Chicago weather is tough. Your home siding should be tougher. Hardy Siding is engineered for our climate. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Top 9, 7-2 Cubs. The ninth inning is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com.
Zach Neto lines one to left. That's a base hit. Dropping in front of Happ. Over toward the alley, gloving it on one hop, getting it back in. Leadoff single. Colin Ray trying to finish the ball game. If he can, it would be a 3-inning save, which is kind of old school. You don't see a lot of those these days. Here's Mike Trout. 7-2 Cubs. Trout pokes it foul off to the right, out of play. Toast of the game presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. It's the official champagne provider of the Cubs. Toast of the game tonight is Edward Cabrera. In his Cubs debut, 6 shutout innings. That's almost what you dream about.
Great performance by Cabrera. When you start, looking at his numbers for the night, they were pretty good.
Here's a drive towards center. On the run, Pete Crow Armstrong makes the catch. Pete spins and fires it toward first. It's out number 1. Pete is such a great athlete. It's just fun, and you can tell how much he loves the game when he makes a play like that.
Yep, he goes and gets this ball, catches it about waist high, and then spins and throws to first. Not really a play at first base, but shows off the arm. We were talking about Cabrera in his day-to-day, 6 innings, 1 hit, 5 punch-outs in the game, and only 1 walk. That'll get it done.
Shonawell, the batter. And the pitch grounded sharply into center field, a base hit behind Dansby Swanson. Stopping at second on the play is Neto. Dansby was moving as it was like he anticipated the ball being hit more toward the middle run, and it surprised him.
Yeah, I not quite sure what happened there. Is this ball, the pitch is inside and it gets inside outed, and Dansby, after the ball is hit, his first reaction is up the middle, and the ball goes to his right and ends up the middle. Kind of an odd play, is right.
Dansby Swanson frustrated because he knows if he could have gloved it, it might have ended the game.
Yeah, that's a double play ball. If he stays put, that ball's right at him. It's 2. Game's over.
Most of the fans have hung around on this beautiful Monday night. 36,702. The Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game winner, Ron Coomer, tonight. Bruce Levine will be in the Cubs third base dugout area. We're also going to pass along a station ID break here shortly. Jorge Soler, the batter. Soler will take a strike, 0-1. Two men on, one down. 7-2 Cubs in the ninth. Soler takes high. 10 for ID right here. This is The Score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. And the 1-1 taken high for a ball. 2-1.
Kind of glad the game is not, Soler coming to the plate, and he's not the tying run on a night like tonight.
Soler takes inside, 3-1. All of a sudden, that insurance run the Cubs got in the seventh looks a little more significant.
Wind just absolutely howling out the straightaway center field.
Two men on, the 3-1. Soler swings and misses. He crossed him up with a good breaking ball. What do you like here, Ron?
I like that same pitch. That's an excellent pitch by Colin Ray on 3-1. Veteran catcher, veteran pitcher. Knowing Soler's sitting fastball, he spun one in there. Soler had an ugly swing at that one.
And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Soler is out, number 2. Big strikeout for Colin Ray. And the Angels are down to their last chance.
Back-to-back breaking balls on 3-1 and then 3-2 by Ray to get the punch out.
Fans are standing. Yoan Moncada, the batter. Cubs leading 7-2. Runners at first and second. The pitch, a strike. Moncada's two-run homer back in the seventh is the extent of the Angels scoring. He's wearing yellow batting gloves on either hand. And he hits a fly ball foul out of play. 0-2. What do you like here, Ron?
You got options. You could elevate a fastball. You go back inside, spin a breaking ball down. A lot of options for Ray. Thing you don't want to do is throw him a good strike.
And the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. A little bit high for a ball. 1-2.
A little elevated heater. See if he chase it up and away.
Cubs trying to even their record at 2-2 on the young campaign. One strike away. The pitch just inside. 2-2. Love these moments at Wrigley where the fans are standing, ready to exult. And now the big right-hander Ray ready again in the 2-2. Looped foul out of play off to the left.
Good pitch by Ray. Good job spoiling it by Moncada. That was a little backdoor slider. Moncada just flicked the bat at it and fouled it off.
Moncada wearing yellow shoes and using yellow batting gloves. And the 2-2. Swing and a foul back. We'll be right back out here again tomorrow. 6:40, game 2. Angels down to their last strike. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. It's all over, and the Cubs win the ball game. Ray strikes out Moncada. Cubs start to celebrate. And it is time to fly the W here at Wrigley Field.
Great pitch by Ray to get the punch out, that little slider down and in. Can't really throw it in a better spot as he ties up Moncada to get the